Hello and welcome to my video. Hello and welcome to my video on things I wish I knew before starting Anthem as well as the Storm Javelin class. Now anything related to the Storm will be at the end of the video and the general things will be at the start of the video. Let's get right into it and I'll see you in game. So first things first. Hovering, going completely horizontal, you're not going to use as much. Going straight up, if you can see the bar just underneath my character, is going to tire your, overheat your javelin a lot more. Going straight down is going to reduce it. Notice how it's raining at the moment. That also counts as a cooling effect to your javelin. Generally what a cooling effect is when you're next to water, your javelin will not overheat as fast or at all. So it's a bit hard to show you because it's raining. I'm going to always be cooling, but generally it would be going up a lot faster. And if you're hovering just above the water here, you get the exact same effect as you would as if it's raining. If you were to do this the whole way, you could pretty much fly for almost forever. You just need to hover straight above the water and you'll be cooling the whole time. Alright, so see how it's a white bar at the moment? That means I'm currently not being cooled. There's no cooling, I'm overheating. If I get all the way to the end, I'll just go straight up to show you. If I keep flying without going next to water, without getting cooled, you'll see it starts turning red and I'll overheat. And now I am currently crash landing. You'll be overheated for a while, which means you can't fly, and you'll be pretty much mobile for most of it. You can still teleport, you can still sprint, but you have to wait for the thing to come back down. See this mist? Watch my white bar. If I go through it, it goes away. That's pretty much... oh, just don't crash or else you go immobile again. Oh, chests. You find chests all around the world, and you get materials for them. Pretty simple, pretty simple. Falling is faster than flying, and you don't take any fall damage. Just a little quick tip there. Materials. Anything that's glowing, you're going to want to pick it up because crafting is quite useful later. Alright, while you're flying also, try not to do this because it renders you completely immobile until you drop to the floor. Very inconvenient. If you can see these little mist things, these are discoverables. You're going to need these eventually to do your main missions, so I would completely recommend to save all and any consumables you find while exploring until you need to get them for your mission. Missions that require you to pick up things such as explosives or fragments. You can't actually fly, you can always teleport like that, or sprint. Jump, or sprint, or dash, depending on what your javelin is. Alright, if you look at this marker on the top, it pretty much shows you where you need to go. 3 bars mean you're very close. 2, closer. 1, not too close. I'd say even on 1 bar, you're not too far away. When it starts blinking at you in all directions, you're pretty much on top of it. Underwater travel. You dip down, and you'll see where my overheating meter was. You'll see that there is now a oxygen tank, pretty much. Let's go into some combat stuff. Some enemies will have a shield, some won't. Now, there are some enemies that have names. So you'll see enemies that have Ash, Storm, or Frost. Essentially what this means is they would be pretty much immune to any of those abilities. Look at this enemy, it's got Ash in his name, which pretty much means that my fire ability won't do much to him at all. So if I chuck my fire ability at him, it does 0 damage. However, if I blast him with my ice, it does a lot more damage. With your lightning and a lot of other abilities as well, if you hold it, it'll show you the area. So the enemies that you're going to hit will light up. If you're not going to hit them, they won't light up. So if you look at this, I've got a Frostbolt on my E, which is a focus. And I've got a Living Flame, which is one of my blast abilities. Oh, there you go. You saw it. Now, if you look at the bottom right where my abilities are, you'll see on my Q, there is a circle at the top right corner. That means it's a prime ability. So it's going to prime the targets and get them ready to combo on top of it. If you look at my E on the top right, it's like kind of like a shuriken. It is called a detonator. So you've got priming abilities and detonating abilities. Essentially, you prime a target. Let's see if I can find one. Alright, so if I shoot my Living Flame at this guy, he's now primed. As you can see, I shoot that, it comes up with a combo and it does a lot more damage. As I said before, this is an AoE. You'll go to other targets and it'll prime a lot more targets than one. There's ultimate abilities. So if you look at my bottom right, you'll see a button saying X. Essentially, that's your ultimate. Alright, world events. The world event is indicated by that purple that you just saw. You can solo these. I've soloed actually most of this game. So do not worry about it not being soloable. We've got to defeat the remaining scars. This will happen after most missions as well as world events. Easier way to track where the last enemies are. Look at the top. You'll see your compass. All the red dots will just show up on the compass and you can just go from there. After every world event you get a chest. It'll have loot. Pretty straightforward really. Alright, so if you saw there was no marker on top of his head, however he's still comboed. I believe it's a bug at the moment, not indicating when they're primed. I'm not sure if that's the intention. Every monster has their weaknesses. So if you look at this guy, you've got it on the back. Also, your abilities can crit if it's a straight shot, like kind of like that. So if you have an ability that goes straight, like a lightning arc or like that glacier, if you hit it in the weak spot, that will also crit as well. Okay, dodging. Dodging is very important, and you'll find when you start doing the harder monsters and harder bosses that have a lot of things they shoot at you. It's pretty much middle mouse button, or you press control, the left control. All you're doing, directional button, dodge. There's no real indicator of your stamina, you can't spam it, obviously, but it's up pretty often. So your melee, normal melee, just like that. Your jumping melee attack does a lot more damage. Now you'll see as I kill these mobs, that will drop things. These are ammo supplies. It will give you ammo for all of your weapons you currently have equipped. Get the health globules drop. There it is. So it's pretty much regenerating your health. Your shields regen automatically once you get out of combat, or if you quickly hide behind a wall, it will regen. Your health, on the other hand, does not regen as quickly. You will need to be picking up those globules. Alrighty, now your support item. For the storm, you put it up. You've got a shield that blocks any incoming bullets or spells. Like if you see, if I was to shoot this at a shield, it will block it. This screen is pretty much what you get from what you picked up from your expedition. You'll get like your abilities, your components, and your weapons. But we'll have a look at that now. Alrighty. So, a few different abilities to choose from. I don't have all the things here. If you look at my crafting menu, you've got a few here that you can craft. And you can also just get them by picking them up. And if you see, the ability actually shows you what it is. So if you look next to the name of Ice Storm, you'll see the circle, which means it's a primer. So these two are primers. The Lightning Strike is a detonator. Pretty much it's your starting ability, and you'll get a primer with it, which I'll show you now. Focus seals are your E ability. This is the one I'm using at the moment, which as you can see is a detonator. Storm is really good for priming targets. and CC. CC is going to be very important in the later games. Grandmaster levels, you're going to need that. You're going to need CC with ice. So you've got a few options. It's quite nice to have a variety of abilities to use rather than just one bland one. Weapons, you can have 2 weapons at a time. Now with weapons, you'll see your ability level. When you're starting out, don't worry too much about what weapons you have. Go for item level. The higher your item level is, as well as your Javelin level, the better items you're going to get. Not only do you want to get those higher level items, but they're generally going to do a bit more damage. Devastator, when you get a Devastator, it is very strong for general bosses as well as groups of enemies. If you see most things here, they come with passives. You'll get different things give you different kind of passives, such as this one gives you more electricity damage as well as a harvest bonus. As you can see for the Light of the Legion, it's a legendary. It's the one I got for pre-ordering the game essentially. It comes with its own unique as well as 4 different passives. These don't matter too much early game. Once you get to level 30, you're going to want to focus on weapons that come with good passives on top of that. All of these comes with passives too. So you're going to have to look at all of these components. They're essentially armor and shield reinforcements that come with their own unique passives as well. So like here you got increased gear damage. Gear damage is essentially these things here, blast seal and focus seal. Now support seals, like I was saying before. You've got the wind wall. I don't currently have the other one with me. It's just a haste field. I believe the wind wall is a lot more effective than the other one. The biggest part of the game, appearance. You've got vinyls that show up all over your body. You've got the wear states. You have different wear states. If you prefer clean, looking dirty, it's totally up to you. Animations. Pretty straightforward. The painting system I got confused with a bit. Essentially you pick a material type you want. The metals, they can't be painted. So you kind of want one like this. I just went for the clean one. Once you pick that, you go to the side panel here, and then you pick your color. So you go through all the colors you want, and then yeah. As you progress through the game, you can unlock the use of other javelins. Alrighty, now to start an expedition, you walk up to your armor, press F or whatever keybind you want to make it. It'll bring you to this screen. So they just updated this with the day 1 patch, which is really nice. You pick your mission, you go free play, or you go strongholds. It just shows you where they are. Now, if you do not want to be with public, you simply press the P key. Privacy settings, you go to private. Select your difficulty. I recommend playing on hard. These two feel honestly way too easy. Brain dead easy. The other difficulties go when you get to level 30. Javelin power, that item level, 400 plus recommended. With each of these levels, the drop rates for rarer items and legendaries are increased. Kind of like Diablo, if you ever played Diablo. You've got your consumables tab here. Space, I've got a few of them, not too many. And as you can see down here, I'll tell you what it does for this expedition. Just a few little tips for the storm that I've found. Lightning strike, very strong. Flame burst is also very strong. These two are probably one of my favorites for the early game. Flame burst isn't a detonator or a primer, it's just a straight up damage ability. Focus seals, early game I really like the frost shards actually, because you can keep shooting them and it freezes targets as well as primes them. Otherwise, if you want another one, the glacial spear is pretty good, and the shock burst is really good for single targets. That does quite a lot of damage. The components I recommend trying to get would be, let's see if Chaos Core is quite good. It just increases your overall blast damage for your blast seals. Elemental Synergy as well as Elemental Empowerment, those two together are quite powerful. As well as just if you're using a lot of lightning abilities, get your inscriptions. I generally use ice and lightning inscriptions, so I'll try and use those. I don't have a fire one, or else I would put that one on. Either way, chaos core is always really nice. I like using the heavy pistols. They are quite powerful if you just do headshots all day. And I always reckon taking a Devastator once you actually get one. There is little to no ammo in them, beware. However, they are quite powerful. Alrighty, so let's show you some of these abilities. So with ice shards, if you hit an enemy enough with them, they will freeze. There is currently a visual bug, and it's not showing them actually frozen, but you can see that they're not moving. You freeze them, you combo them with the lightning. What the Storm's Javelin passive is, if you combo an enemy that is CC'd, it will spread to other enemies nearby. Yeah, if you want to do this, see how they freeze to the side of them? That's pretty much what you want to do. You want to CC those enemies and start spreading the CC. As I was saying about the Devastator, let's say up here, if you look after I hold the left mouse button, it charges up. If you see a group of enemies, it'll do AoE. It is very powerful if you hit weak points. Heavy pistol, find the weak spots. They're pretty hard to hit the weak spots on these scorpions. You have to wait till they stand up and hit them in the mouth. As I said before, as a Storm you always want to be hovering. My shield is a lot stronger when I'm hovering. In general, as a Storm you are pretty weak. That's kind of the downfall of all the damage that we do. If you need to recover or if you need to revive a down teammate, pop your shield up, no projectiles will go through it. All of your projectiles will go through it, so if you want to shoot through the shield you can, enemy projectiles cannot come through that. Yeah, that's pretty much the kit I was using for the entire first part for Storm. It's very strong ability, very strong class. The ulti is insane. You'll one-shot most of the first round bosses. It's got a pretty long range as well. Okay, thank you very much for making it this far in the video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, and you'll get a notification for when I go live next. If you want to see me actually live, you can go to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Topeka. I stream every night, mostly. I don't have anything on related to work or uni. Australian Melbourne time, 9 PM is when it starts. Australia. I know, it's fucked. Anyways, thank you very much and I'll see you next time. Bye!